That's my fault. Okay. So here we go. So I have Bishop in the background waiting for me. I'm so embarrassed. Okay. Let me stop. Oh, okay. I know you're so embarrassed about that. I know. Here I go. Okay. Okay, you got it? I You got it? Hi guys, as you can see, I am having a blast tonight with this, trying to get things in order. Thank everyone who is here. I think that you know that we're going to be interviewing live the Bishop. Okay, you know him as the YouTube sensation, and this is just not working for me tonight, and it should have been working for me. I was trying to do a really different intro, and it just is just not working. The lighting is not working. Everything is just a mess, you guys. So forgive me, okay? I'm still kind of new to this YouTube, even though I have, a good amount of viewers. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add Bishop when he is ready. But you know him as the Bishop, and he used to be with a different panel. And tonight I wanted to interview him. I wanted to bring him to you guys live. I want to talk about his branding, because he seems to be going in some other directions here. And I think that it's important for all of us to know about it. So here we go. I'm getting ready to bring him on now. Let's see. Hi, Bishop.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Your lighting is way better than mine.
Oh.
Your lighting is way better than mine. I don't know what's wrong with this light. I had a ring light, but I digress. Let me get over that.
Oh, so, I understand. I had a ring light too.
I had and it did, it did better, but then it broke and I had to send it back, and then it broke again. I was like, okay, I need to find someplace else to get me a ring light. Right. But it still should be working. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's the way that I have everything situated here. Mm-hmm. Maybe. So let's see here. At any rate, thank you very much for showing up tonight. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So why don't we just go ahead and dive in? I'm hoping that we will get some other people in. A lot of times they show up late. Miss Hogg says there's Bishop's smooth voice. You are absolutely right.
Thank
Bishop,
you.
how does that feel? People know you for being smooth, sexy, hat-wearing, YouTube sensation. How does that feel?
Oh, I'm just shocked by it. I always been confident on my calm demeanor.
Mhm.
Very being calm. So I appreciate just being noticed about it. Just myself.
Yeah, you do have a calm demeanor, but you also have it's strong. It's accompanied with a lot of strength. So it's not, it's not just put out there for anything. So I wanted you to just go ahead. I want to wait for some other people to show up if I may, because sometimes they show up really late for me. As you know, I'm still
Mhm.
branding. I'm kind of new to YouTube, and you've been here. How long have you been on YouTube?
Been on YouTube for about 5 years as a content creator about 2 years and a half now.
Wow. Wow.
Mhm.
So, what made you want to start a YouTube channel?
I always wanted to be a YouTuber and started a YouTube channel, but I didn't know which direction I was going to go into because I have different talents. So it's like I don't know which sector I'm gonna go into, and I'm like maybe I could do all of it, and I'm like well maybe I can't because that's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And so I was in the sector, or I still am in the sector where we do a lot of topics regarding uh, black male issues. So
Hmm.
that's how I got into it. And I'm like, okay, I could speak to the brothers, especially young brothers around my age and a little bit younger, and tell
Yeah.
them things what I wish I would have known if I was younger, when I was younger. So I got my starting with through a friend of mine's, and also my mother encouraged me. She's like, you should go ahead and do it because black men do need a voice and they do need to speak out.
That's amazing. So, your mom encouraged you to do that.
Right? Yeah, she did.
That yeah, that's where you get your confidence from because you also come across as, calm, but you're also confident, you know?
Hmm.
So so one of the things that I shared leading up to this, because of course I was out on YouTube advertising it and doing little clippets of it,
Hmm.
and I invited people to bring in their sons so that they could hear you, because I
Hmm.
did hear you talk about that a lot, that you wanted to encourage young brothers. So I thought
Hmm.
it would be a good idea for other mothers, and parents to have their sons here while you were here tonight,
Right.
with them. Even though, like on the YouTube channel itself, I put, no children, but I did invite them. As long as they're with
Right.
their parents, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, yeah. So tell us about your upbringing.
Well, I'm the youngest of four. I'm from a town, but it turned into a city, and I'm from the Bay Area. So I'm born and raised in California, and I had an awesome upbringing with both my parents. Um, I am a parent's boy. I always say that to people. I'm not just a mama's boy, and I'm not just a daddy's boy. I'm a parent's boy. So, and I love family. Family is number one to me. So whenever people hear me speak about family, that is a thing that is most dear to my heart because I know the power in family.
Yes, and I can see that in you as well. I can tell that you have a strong background and that there was a strong male in your household. You
Hmm.
exemplify all of that. There's a huge difference between young men, and I'm not slighting any young man who did not have
Right.
a father in the home, but there is a difference between young men who have had strong fathers in their home and men who have not had that,
Hmm.
that advantage. So even with young women,
Yeah.
fathers give young girls their security.
Yeah.
That's why you see young women, they're walking around, they're confident, nothing really gets in their way. It's because they had that strong male figure there that they bonded with. So
Hmm.
I have some people I want to stop and say, hey, Michelle Evans. So Bishop, Michelle Evans is saying hello to you.
Hello.
And
Yeah.
plus size T with Dear Rose is saying hello to you.
Hello.
Now, I know Rose, I've been to her channel. She does a lot of news events,
Hmm.
like missing children, and she does a lot of those types of events. And sometimes I want to cry when I go there.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But YouTube needs all kind. I think that there are so many people on YouTube now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the new television. As much as television doesn't want to recognize it, it really is almost like the new television.
It is.
Um, so I want to. Oh, thank you, Miss Hogg. You like my pearl necklace? Thank you. so, um, so I want you to tell us what are some of your favorite things to do, like your vacation spot, your favorite color, and we see you wear these hats all the time. What's your favorite hat?
My favorite hat is actually the white one.
I love that white one.
That's my favorite one. I didn't think I was gonna be my favorite one because white is not my favorite color. So it's not even a color, but I didn't think I was gonna like it until someone has said it goes great with your skin. I'm like, I didn't really think that, and
Yeah.
and so I that's my favorite hat now. Like I
Yeah.
can wear it with any outfit pretty much, and it looks nice, and I really like that hat. My favorite color is purple, dark purple.
Really? Oh my God, we have that in common. But go ahead.
It's dark purple,
Yeah.
and I always attribute that to Prince because Prince's favorite color was purple too as well.
Yes.
And he was a Gemini, and I had so much confidence as a first grader to say my favorite color was dark purple because every other boy color's favorite color was blue. It was something else, and I was like, well, my teacher said, it's nothing to be ashamed of to like the color purple. So I said that's my favorite color.
Purple is a beautiful color. It's a beautiful color. And what's your favorite vacation spot?
I would say my favorite spot is Louisiana because I have my family out there.
Okay, Louisiana. And I have not been to Louisiana. I've always wanted to go so I could eat some oysters. I want to go. When I see people in Louisiana eating those oysters, I'm like, that looks good when they eat it. I don't even really like oysters, but if I was in Louisiana, I would eat some oysters.
They make it look real good, especially when they grill it. I'm like, I want to try it one day, and I'm not even the seafood type of person.
Yeah, I love seafood. And what's the powdery dessert that people eat there? What is it?
I think it's
beignet.
Beignet, yeah.
Yes, I want those. Yeah.
My cousin turned me on to that. I was like, ooh, that's
yeah.
And that's from New Orleans. That's the southern part of Louisiana.
Yeah.
My family's in the northern part.
Okay. Yeah. Well, New Orleans people are known for their cooking, Yes. So, how did you get into wearing your hats?
I take it from my grandfather and my father. Well, both of my grandfathers, actually. Both my grandfathers and father, they always wear fedoras and stuff like that. And ball caps. My dad's big on ball caps during the week. But then when he dressed up and he want to wear a hat, he wears a fedora. So I always seen my grandfather and my dad dressed to the 10th, not even to the 9th, to the 10th, and they wear suits on Sundays, and they took great pride in their appearance. So I've always been like that. Like I would dress in jeans, dress shoes, maybe a polo shirt and a nice hat. Like to me, because it's like casual but dressy at the same time. So I kind of broke their little mold about being dressy. So but I still wanted to keep some of that masculine aspects of old school with it as well.
Yeah. So yeah, I like my grandfather used to dress up, and my grandfather was a singer, and he was a deacon in the church. Yes, so his voice, the whole county used to just love to hear him sing. And my mother can sing, and my sister can sing as well. My sister sung for governors, so it's like, yeah. I don't ask me to sing. I can carry a tune. I can carry it, but so far, and then it kind of dies down, and I'm just like, okay, yeah. So I'm waiting. I'm trying to see. Like usually, I will see like 100 people in here, even if they're not talking in the chat. And I'm trying to figure out where they are tonight. There's no telling. There's no telling. But there are a few people, and there's some in the chat. Hi, Jessica. Jessica said her favorite color is purple also. So Bishop, tell us about your greatest achievement.
My greatest achievement is when I hear from people and they tell me that my life, my message, what I'm about touches their life and touches their soul, to me, those are the greatest achievements that no one can ever give you. No one can ever tell you or take away from you, because that was something personable. And I have achievements like I have a minister's license. I have, a little bit of degrees where I need to work on some more.
Mhm.
um, but to me, the stuff that comes from the heart, and they told me it helped them. Like some of the mistakes I made, I tell them don't make that mistake, and they'll come back and give me that feedback. To me, that's like the greatest accomplishment.
Okay, and I agree when you can touch someone's heart,
Hmm.
and you have touched a lot of hearts out here on these YouTube streets.
I
So
appreciate that.
how do you feel about that?
I feel like I'm on the right path, because for a
Yeah.
moment I felt like I was off the path. Like when I came in, I knew what I was supposed to do, and I, revert and did something else. And then that whole U-turn of when I met my mentor, he says, "You're not doing what you're supposed to be doing." And I told him, I said, "You're right," and that's actually confirmation from God that I shouldn't be doing what I'm doing. Like I'm on the wrong direction. So with him, pep talking to me earlier this year,
Mhm.
and got me on the path where I need to be going.
Yes, that's good. And it looks like you are really doing some other things right now. What is your vision in the future? Where do you see yourself going, like in terms of YouTube, or is there anything else you got going, acting, anything else you got going on out there? And before you answer that, let me just say, you guys who are in the chat, if you have a question for Bishop, you can go ahead and put it in there, and um, I'll let him know. He can take a look at it as well and see if he wants to answer it or if he can't answer it. Okay, you guys, just wanted to let you all know that. Okay. So, Bishop, where do you see yourself going, like from here? Now that you are, you're one of the most popular males on YouTube. So,
Um, where I see myself actually going to different cities and talking to different people.
mhm,
I also see myself growing much bigger and even much off the platform into like maybe websites, and actually getting real entertainment, um, uh, you know, websites to go to instead of just being relegated just to YouTube.
uh-huh.
Um, and I also see myself, writing books as well, as well, because I'm a
Yeah.
writer. Yeah,
Okay.
and I actually write, lyrics to music.
Do
So,
you?
yeah,
Wow. Do you sing?
yeah, I do.
Oh, wow. Do you play an instrument also?
I used to
Any-
play instruments. I stopped, and so I'm really rusty on on a couple of instruments.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
you see yourself like um, writing, do you see yourself writing books and music, or just books for right now? Or,
Both I actually see myself doing.
but okay.
Hmm.
Okay. I'm very interested to see that and where that goes with you. Um, so, some of the adjectives, as we talked about earlier, that are used to describe you, you're smooth, you're sexy, you're calm, hat
Hmm.
wearing. And with that, that's women on YouTube who are saying that. So,
Right.
what is your ideal woman? Describe your ideal woman.
Well, my ideal woman is a woman that is of God, who is has a relationship with God. Because people say oh, I know God, and then then you find
Yeah,
out in a relationship,
that's true.
really. A caring woman, a woman that is sincere about the things she does, and a woman that's rooted and grounded, and established in life. You know, um, a woman that's close to her father. You know,
Mhm.
um, a woman that is caring and nurturing and sweet. You know what I mean? And it's so many characteristics. A woman that I can grow old with and be friends with as well.
Yes. I hear that's the most, and I would tell you from experience, that is the most important thing.
Hmm.
Um, Even though we weren't friends first, we were romantic first, but the but most people say they were friends first,
Mhm.
and I think that those relationships do last a long time when you can
Right.
become a friend of someone. Miss Hogg said she loves your answer regarding the woman, your woman to be. So,
Thank you.
um, now you are a minister's son,
Hmm.
and sometimes that comes with some challenges and relatives, like we say the preacher's kids, and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I even grew up saying that with and we were real. My family was very close with our minister growing up. He was our minister for a few decades, and
Hmm.
so it was like family. He would come to our house and eat, the collard greens, the macaroni and cheese, sweet potato pie, the fried chicken, everything,
Hmm.
and my aunt would play the piano, and then we'd be singing again. We have church again, you know.
Right.
So, being, but his children, even though we were close to them, they were called preachers' kids.
Hmm.
So, tell me about some of the challenges of
Oh.
being a preacher's kid, or if you
What?
had any, you might not have had any.
Oh, we did.
You did, okay.
I think the biggest one for us, since we were in a city slash town, we used to be on TV, and they used to show old clips and all this other stuff. And then my friends like, I seen you on TV, and like, dang, and and even though I knew that subculture very well, the church culture, and
Mm-hmm,
that's all I knew and I was used to.
mm-hmm.
Um, I loved it, and I also once you step out that world and go into the real world, it sometimes can be like, well, I want to do this, and you can't do that, especially like, no, we got to go to church. So some of the activities that I wanted to do sometimes conflicted when we had services. So it was like, I want to do this and da da da. And I remember one time I was like, I wish my family, my parents was heathens. At least I can do some stuff. I can live a normal person's life. But now that I look back on it, and even in my older age, I'm thankful because it taught me discipline
Yeah,
that I see a lot of my peers do not have.
yeah. I can see that. Even in the preacher's kids that we grew up with, I know
Mhm.
I used to party even in high school. I
Mhm.
cheered, and so I was a different brand. But there were times they couldn't go out.
Mhm.
Every now and again they could, but they had to be in sooner than we did. And
Yeah.
so, I see that, but when
Mhm.
they went to college, I think they got it all out. I think they made up for it. Okay.
Right.
So, yeah. So, plus size T with Dear Rose is asking you, how long have you and your co-host Ronan been collabing?
Ooh, we've been collabing since last year.
Okay,
Yeah.
the last year. Um, so did you just meet Ronan last year, or did you all just start collabing last year?
We start collabing last year, but we met on the platform about 2 years now.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, because you have a lot of other YouTube people that you are working with now.
Yeah, I actually work with a whole team.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
I'm trying to get a team together. I am. I'm trying
Right.
to get a
I
team.
understand.
People, I don't know. It's hard. I'm also still trying to build my brand,
Hmm.
and I just got my banner up, and it doesn't even match. I was just like, let me just put something up. Let me put,
It's gonna be trial and error. I can attest to that. I can
yeah,
testify to that.
yeah. So, talk to us about your brand, like just your brand. Put you said that you are going to be writing books and that
Mhm.
you're interested in really encouraging or being a mentor for other young men who are coming
Mhm.
up. Um, so in terms of like your like logo branding, like
Mhm.
mission, have you done all of that yet?
I've done most of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, my mission is for Black men voices to be heard and for us to have agency, and to also, while doing that, simultaneously getting ourselves together and building up a whole person.
Mhm.
And the reason why I say the whole person, because sometimes we've been taught to have pieces of ourselves and only focus on certain things but not build the whole person up. And I'm
Right.
all about, us hitting all the cylinders, just not just your spiritual, but
Mhm.
also your health, also, your family, also your appearance, also your where you live, which is your dwelling, your mobility, your education,
Mhm.
your profession in life, and what you do as like vacation and leisure. It's time, when it's time to wind down and have a good time, and then
Mhm.
also building up generational wealth. So,
That's so important.
I'm all about the whole building up the whole man through the 10 life values.
Right. And how hard is that? Because young men nowadays, they are different from back in my day.
Hmm.
Because I have a son who's probably about your age, or maybe might be a couple of years older, who knows? But um, young men now are so volatile. You don't see that togetherness that I saw when I was growing up, where the
Hmm.
Black men were really like a brotherhood, even in the community. Um, we literally had brick masons in our community who
Hmm.
really built homes.
Right.
They literally, so, and we would watch them build homes in the community. They
Hmm.
would walk around with wads of cash, just what,
Hmm.
and so those things kind of became normal, but you don't see things like that anymore. Now in the neighborhood, you see young men tearing down certain neighborhoods in urban cities uh, and not really building it up. So how hard is it to create some kind of mentorship and put them in the right direction?
I would say it's hard, but it's not impossible. And the
Mhm.
reason why I'm saying that is it takes a help of from the whole community to nurture the young men,
Mhm.
and to bring affirmation to them so they can have some type of dignity and self-respect, because contrary to popular belief, black boys are the most neglected children in this whole country.
Yes.
They're pushed aside, and they're not told anything or instructed on anything. um all they've been told is what they did wrong, because even for me as a kid, I was always told when I went to school everything I did wrong and nothing I ever did right. You know what I mean? And it was people that looked like me, which was crazy, insane. And it's like when other people in different groups looked at me, they seen something special, and they were happy when they seen my mother and father. But people that look like me, it was so much like self-hate and vitriol, like, oh, just whatever, you just figure it out. And it's like, figure it out, like I need to be instructed on what I need to do. And then
Right.
I can only imagine for kids that don't have that parental guidance, 10 times worse for them, because then they're trying to figure out their way through life. And then when they do make mistakes, there's no one to tell them that, hey, everyone makes mistakes, you can get up and try again and do better. But instead they keep being told that they're no good. So once you've been told you're no good from a child, growing all the way up to where you're now an adult, to where now the self-hate is in full rage, you're always going to pick apart and put down people that look like you. You will never have nothing good to say about no one.
Right. And that's very true. That's very true.
Hmm.
That's why it's so important, even for little babies, to be held a lot. A lot of
Hmm.
people think that when they see babies jumping around or, moving, those babies are really wanting that parent to pick them up. I think
Hmm.
it's okay to pick up a baby and hold them close to you. People are like, oh, I don't want to spoil it. No, you
No.
hold them because they're still young and they've been in your womb for so long. That's all they're used to. So you kind
Hmm.
of have to wean them as they get older, and talk to them. But like I see these babies on YouTube, and I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my goodness, they're so adorable. But there's some of the things
Hmm.
the parents are doing to them. I'm like, are you really doing this?
Right.
It's like, are you really doing this to your kid just to get a like? you
It's
know?
ridiculous.
Yeah. So, someone was asking, how does being a young Black influencer on YouTube carry over into your personal life?
um I would say it doesn't carry, because this is who I am, even online and offline.
Hmm.
So what I actually talk about on here, I literally talk about in the congregation. So it's nothing really too different. It's just you're catching segments of me of who I really am. So
Right.
it's nothing that I'm doing much differently.
Okay. Okay. I think that was Toya that asked that question as well. And so, is there anything? I know you said writing the book, and you shared with us some other things that you're doing outside of YouTube. What type of books are you thinking of writing?
I'm thinking about writing. I always thought about doing children's book because I have wrote a book before as a kid.
Oh,
Hmm.
what's
And
the name of it?
oh, I gotta dig it up.
Yeah, dig
But
it up.
I have wrote two. One was dedicated to my godmother because she was having my god brothers and they were twins. So I wrote a book on that. And then I wrote another book. Um it was about relationships from a kid's point of view.
Oh,
And it
okay.
was called I think it was called Always For You. So
Oh,
it was almost like a derivative story from my parents.
okay. I was going to ask her that. What was the name of it again? Always for you.
Yeah.
Always
But
for you.
it was never published because there's only one copy, which was my copy. No, it
Oh,
was two copies. There's one for the classroom because we did it in the classroom, and it was a copy that was sent to me. I gotta dig that book up from my parents' house.
yeah, because right now you could probably sell that even on your channel.
Yeah, it was like drawings that we did as kids in our own
Uh-huh.
book. So we had the written part out and then our own drawings. So they taught us how to illustrate and author our own books.
Okay. So you could probably edit and expand that to now to today's standards and put something out there,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. So I'm trying to see someone says I'm definitely going to recommend other young black men to watch the Bishop's channel. Yeah, well that's what he does. So that's what he would want you to do.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, definitely would want you to do that. And I don't want to get into anything, previously, but I did want to ask you, have you talked to Ples?
Yeah, I talked to Ples off and on. I either text her or call her, see how she doing.
Yeah, that's
Hmm.
good. That's good. I've been looking forward to getting back over there on her channel. I don't think she's created any content in a while, so I wanted to go over and see her. The last thing
Hmm.
she talked about was "Scared of Beautiful." I never knew Brandy made that song.
Yeah, I want to say it's written by Frank Ocean.
Oh, Frank Ocean is a great writer.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
phenomenal writer.
yeah, he is a really great writer. So I now people are coming in. When you guys click the like button whenever you come in, um, what happens, Bishop, is let's click the like
Click
button.
that like button.
Yes. And I know I keep saying this, but I am really just getting started on YouTube because I've been doing some videos for a while. I'm still trying to perfect it. And
Hmm.
so I don't have a lot of not as many viewers as I wanted to have. They seem to be increasing a little bit here. Um, but
Hmm.
what they do is they come in afterwards.
Yeah.
So I like to say to them, when you're coming in afterwards, if you're coming in and you're catching this live afterwards, also click the like button, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll know when I'm creating content, because I'm going to do
Hmm.
something else on critical race theory. Are you familiar with critical race theory?
I heard about it. You want
Yeah,
to kind of fill me in on it because I've been hearing about people talking about it lately.
yeah. Well, critical race theory really has to do with the legalities of blacks and how we are treated in this country, and it's about trying to get justice. So it's theory, and it was done with the professor, and I can't think of his name even though I did the talk on it on my channel a couple of nights ago.
Hmm.
But it was created by the first Black professor at Harvard, the first Black tenured professor at Harvard. And what he was trying to do, he called it theory because he wanted to open it up for discussion,
Hmm.
you know, and the talk about, okay, is there really, some negative things happening with regards to Black people and law enforcement and the justice system?
Hmm.
And also, can we talk about this in school? Can we talk about the history of Black people in school? You know, and I just kind of thought it's a shame that we're trying to do something that was started back in 1972, and you fast forward decades later, and it's still not being done.
Right.
It's part of history. It's not anything that really should be fought over. It is the history. So when you were talking about history, we have to include it all in order to make it right.
Right, because a lot of times we go off of a white person's narrative.
Yes.
Like I hear the nostalgic feels of what a lot of black men and black women be talking about. Oh, I want a man like my granddaddy, like from 1950s, or my grandmother. And I'm like, you're just fantasizing about that. I don't want to go back to 1950s.
Me either.
I've talked to older people where I'm very close to older people, and they used to tell me stories all the time. It's not what a lot of us put in our head. And I think that come from the dynamics of families being together, which is a great thing. Take the good. We got more freedoms. So why you choose to use your freedoms for foolishness? Exactly. You should be using your freedoms to actually progress us even further. But it goes to show you that people don't have their heads in the right places, because they think, oh, well, let me walk away from upbuilding my spirit and just build my pockets. But you're gonna fall in love with money. So that means you'll do anything for money. You'll trade your kids in, you'll trade your mother, your father in. You're willing to do all these different things, but it only tears us up even more.
Exactly. It really does. And it's I just, some of the things that we talk about, sometimes you feel like it's like beating a dead horse.
Right.
You feel like, and so I think at some point we just have to do it. We just have to do it. Hi, Queen Riri. Saying hi. She says hi to you, the bishop. And so we just have to do it. Even I was saying to someone, and you hate to say this because I'm sitting here on YouTube, which of course is owned by Google. A lot of people don't know that, but Google owns YouTube. And I'm like, there are so many brilliant Black men and women who can create this same medium, who are smart enough. We have computer scientists, software designers. We have people who have those brains who can do the same thing. But, I digress on that. But, just we can do the same thing. And but critical race theory is a big deal right now, because it really is a way to open up the minds of younger children of all cultures in the school, and to give them a foundation about what really transpired with Black people in this country. And I think that will build up more respect from them to Black people. And I think some people don't want that to happen.
Right.
Some people don't want that to happen.
Yeah. Because the self-destruction for us that we do to ourselves is the ball's already rolling.
Yeah. So I do some things over here on this channel, and so I am growing, but people come back in. Like I said, they come back in afterwards and they look, and I'm hoping that, when they come in, one of the things I wanted to ask you, if I had enough people, I was going to have them, send you, like, you can't do super chats here because of course it's my channel. I'm not currently monetized, but like do things for your channel, like go over there and send you. So you guys who are here, if you want to go over to Bishop's channel and click on him, do you have your Cash App and stuff up for people to donate to your channel?
Yeah, it's in my description link if they ever want to hit me up on there.
Yeah, I thought I saw it over there. So anyone who's here, you guys can go over there to Bishop's channel and, give him a little something for showing up here on Vlog Media Brees this evening. He's a busy man, and I really appreciate you showing up here, Bishop, and giving me this interview. And I definitely am going to come over to your channel more. I've been so busy with this one. I've been over to your channel a couple of times, but sometimes it gets busy. And then I was looking at a channel the other day, and somebody did like hours. I was like, oh my gosh, that person did that was like a whole work day.
Right.
They did like hours. I mean, they were there hours live.
12 hours sometimes.
They got their kill.
I know somebody that did like 23 hours. I was like, what? 23 hours.
Oh my goodness. This person the other day, they did like, I'm like, they did a whole work day. I was like, look, you got your money's worth. And people were showing up and they were glad to be there and they were helping out. And that's that kind of influence and excitement that people like about YouTube. You know, so I'm gonna have to really get my branding in here and figure out some things. Queen Riri is saying, wow. I guess she's saying, wow. Yeah, they really did a whole work day.
Yeah.
The whole work day, literally. Because I listened to them. I had to listen to them like 4 days to get the whole. I was like, well, while I'm working, let me just listen to them because I like their channel. So I'm saying, well, let me put it on my phone, and while I'm working, let me do ahead listen. I'm like, whoa, you know. Then you turn it off, you go take care of your family, and then you come back and listen again. So,
and the key is just being personable with your audience.
Yes.
Because how some people shoot themselves in the foot, they get above people, so you're no longer relatable.
Exactly. And you have to your audience, I'm learning, has to see something very genuine and kind spirited in you. Yeah. They cannot see you, even with the Real Housewives. This YouTube audience doesn't like to see a lot of bickering and fighting and people trying to bring down other people. That gets, I think that really gets in people's spirit. Regardless of whether they go to church or not, it gets in their spirit and they don't like it. They come out swinging.
Yeah.
They come out swinging. So
I try to tell people, instead of you get so invested where you start commenting and start sending hate mail to them, the worst you can ever do to somebody is stop watching.
It is.
Because then people say, well, we can't brand them. We can't promote them anymore because nobody wants to watch the negativity no more. So let's go over to positive stuff. See, the power is in the change. The power is in the people. So when you show national syndicated media outlets that, no, I want to see positivity. I'm tired of seeing negativity and debaucherous behavior. What they're going to now do is have to acclimate to what you want. But since we keep feeding the negative, they're going to keep sponsoring the negative. So people don't understand, you are the power behind the currency. You are the currency.
Exactly.
Money wouldn't have no value in it if we didn't value money. So when people say they chasing the bag, I'm like, matter of fact, you're chasing yourself, actually. Yeah. They're making you chase your own tail. So stop chasing money and actually make money, but don't chase it.
Exactly. Someone once told me, money is a source. People shouldn't put all of their energy in it because it's a source. It can't do anything for you. You have to do something with it. Yep. So you're the controller of it. So yeah, I definitely agree. And I can't think of. I know that I didn't want the interview to last, be longer than an hour because I know that you have a busy schedule. But I did want to thank you very much for showing up. And I can't think of a better note to end on in terms of how people should be out here in these YouTube streets. Is there anything else that we have not discussed that you would want the audience to know?
I would say this to most people, value yourself. Because once you start valuing yourself, then people can value you at the end of the day. We definitely have to focus our energy on more positive things. Because looking around this world is so negative. So you can't help but slide into negativity, because I can get caught up and do it too. But then I have to say, what am I watching? What am I listening to on a daily basis? Am I getting enough sun? Am I connecting more to nature? Am I connecting with my family more? So I won't be so preoccupied on negativity, because it's easy just to go into it because it's naturally just there. You can just click on YouTube and you can find a whole bunch of crazy stuff. You know what I mean? So yes. I have to be vigilant and more watchful about what I'm feeding myself, spiritually and physically as well, because you can eat bad stuff. So I'll try to make sure myself is healthy as well as physically. Make sure I'm emotionally healthy, and I make sure that I'm spiritually and mentally healthy and emotionally healthy.
And that's a good thing to end on. Janice Allen also says she appreciates your positive perspective on issues. So we're going to go ahead and end this interview now. And I just want to say thank you all for showing up. And again, for those who do show up afterwards, click the like button, subscribe, and click the notification bell so that you can get these lives and, be able to come on here whenever they start. And Bishop, thank you so much for this.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, I definitely appreciate it. And it was definitely a joy having you on here. I have another interview coming up this week. I'm hoping that he comes over. And he's not a YouTuber, but you'd be surprised.
Yes. Oh, no doubt.
Yes,
I'm gonna check that out.
Yes, trying to, get my niche in this audience as well. But thank you very much. And I'm going to go ahead and end this. And thank you guys. I wish I had some music to carry us out on, you guys, but this was really an interview about Bishop's brand and where he expects to go. So you can come back here and listen to it again. It'll be up here, okay? So thank you very much. And bye, Bishop.
All right, bye.
Many blessings to you.
All right, you too.
Bye-bye.